Hey, welcome back. I got a fun one for you here today. I was talking to a friend and he said, you know what? You need to do your top 20 knife video. And I was like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot to do that this year. Partly it was because I haven't really changed a lot of my knives, but partly it was because it just hadn't really come to mind. So taking number 20 on the list, this is my wife's daily driver actually. This is the TW Price Dawn version 2. Where he did the liner lock. This is just a sweet knife, multiple deployment options, cool options in terms of Damascus steel. I think this one's M390 blasted. Just awesome knives. So number 20 on the list, TW Price Dawn, especially for the price. These were like $295, made by Best Tech out of China. Just an awesome knife. All right, also made by Best Tech. Ooh, still got the Ting Winterblade Factor version 1. The version 1 had the dual magnets in the stronger detent, and it is just probably never going to leave my collection. Such a cool knife. Taking number 19 on the spot for the just uniqueness, the fidget factor, the really, really great lock. The sights, the sounds, the Winterblade Factor, where it all began. Version 1 in particular, one of my favorite all-around knives. Number 19 on the list. Very cool from Winterblade. All right, these are the only three on the list made in China, actually. Reate EXO. I have a full polished version of it here. That's pretty darn cool. You could get these in a Zircotai version. And many other finishes, but this is the full-size Reate EXO. I wasn't the biggest fan of the locking blade versions, the smaller ones, but they're cool too if you want to actually EDC it. Reate EXO, just the sights, the sounds, the fun, the fidget factor. Really cool knife offered with this, I think they called it double edge, but you know, dagger style. Pretty darn cool with a little spot there for your thumb. So that's number 18 on the list, the Reate EXO. The next one from Wells Bladeworks, made in USA. Here we go. Now these are a little interesting. I did a Pocket Parties version of this. If you ever want to ask him about this over at Wells, he will make this for you. This one has like a more chamfered thumb hole. It has a thicker lock bar. Mine has Xyro lock stick at this point, which is a thing when you get knives from him. Sometimes they have some lock sticks. Sometimes that will go away over time, but mine operates perfectly at this point, and it's just a really cool all-around knife. One that I've actually carried multiple times, and yeah, just rolls out nicely. It's a different feel because it's a full G10 scale. There's no metal in there, so it's just a different feel than anything else that I've felt. Washer knife, just really cool. Wells Bladeworks, customs. He does all these custom, any handle style you want, and for the price, you just can't beat it. I think you get these for around $400 to $450, depending on how you configure them. Wells Bladeworks. All right, number 15 on the list. Did we do that right? 20, 19, 18, 17. Number 16 on the list, the Cove. I think that this is one of the cooler knives out there. Boatright Bladeworks is just a really cool brand. Chase Boatright, really cool maker. You can talk to him. He's very casual, very approachable. This particular one was offered at Blade Show, but just all around the handle style, the shape, the fact that these are full customs, no two are the same. $900 for this one, made in the USA with these premium materials. It's pretty freaking cool. Titanium liners on this with carbon fiber dune scales. You can get a full titanium version if you prefer. Very fidgety, just a different kind of maker, not like others out there. His knives are very distinct looking and makes for a very cool one. So that is our first 5 on the list. We're going for top 20 here. So we'll try and make this maybe 4 rows if it works out. All right, taking up number 15 on the list is the Benchmade Bugout, full size. In particular, these are made out of Oregon. Just great ergonomics in hand, super lightweight. My brother carries one of these every day. I occasionally carry my full size. I'm going to give you a quick acceleration here to my number 14 on the list. It's actually the Bugout Mini. This is probably my most carried knife, to be honest. I don't know if everyone knows that, but I've got mine just, you know, practically, you know, drop shut, as you can see there. Not quite. Probably could use a cleaning though. But man, this thing just disappears in my pocket. I wash it through the washing machine all the time. It does take a little bit of sharpening. It's S30V, maybe not the best ever edge retention, but not bad. This version right here from BladeHQ is 20 CV, and it actually makes for quite a version here with G10 scales. 1.5 ounces, 2.1 ounces. You can get a full-size bug out in 1.8 ounces though. So just amazing carry knives, great all-around knives. Not for everyone, but I really like them. Now, made in Taiwan, the Demko AD20.5, the 20 CV variant in particular, I think is just a phenomenal value. You can get these during the winter seasons, 2 for 1, or on crazy discounts. If you missed it this holiday, get it next year. Man, keep an eye out though, because for the price, it's just very hard to beat the AD20.5, especially with this shark's foot blade. They have multiple different blades. They have thumb studs, no thumb studs. The AD20.5 just continues to be one of my favorite models of any knife ever made, especially for use. That one I do most of my unboxings on this channel with it. So just a really, really cool knife that does a little bit of everything, made to be used and abused. And I appreciate that for sure. All right, what do we have next here? Number 12 on the list. Now we're getting back to the United States. Brown Knives, Cortex XL. Definitely one of the cooler knives. Love the grind on it. Love the ability to roll it out. Very thin, very carryable. Easy pocket clip to get into your pocket. Probably the only thing I didn't really like about this, aside from the slightly flat feeling scales, was the slightly smaller lock bar. Sometimes it's a little hard to access that. Not my favorite attribute of this knife, which is why as a Brown Knives, it's not in my top 10, unlike most of his models are making my top 10 still. Cortex XL, just a great all-arounder, and a lot of people got their first start on Brown Knives on this model more recently, so yeah, great one. He does those with Damasteel and other stuff too. Number 11 on the list. Are we already down to 11? Wow. We have the Demko Knives Shark Cub. It has also become one of my top carry knives. You'll see a difference between knives that I love and knives that I carry. I do try and carry knives that I love in general, but there's a difference of knives I love to use and carry versus just knives that I, you know, kind of cherish. This one right here is made to be used and abused. I have the 20 CV version of it here. I don't know if I've ever even sharpened this knife. It just holds an edge forever, and that goes for all Demko. They do not mess around with their heat treat. They just make a heck of an edge, and then when you sharpen them, they get even sharper. It's just like even sharper than the first time you had them. It's a really phenomenal knife. All right, so that's the bottom 10 of the top 20, but so many great knives here that I truly love. Gotta respect all of them there. Number 10 on the list, so we're in the top 10 now, is the Bull Knives Xyro, and I have a stand-in here because they are so hard to get. I have the mini Xyro production knife. I don't know if I would put this one this high on the list, but man, just as an all-around model, Bull Knives makes phenomenal knives, and if you can get a custom Xyro, that full size on that thing, this is probably better for carry, but the full size Bull Knives Xyro is really something to behold. Especially if you get one that's, you know, like a Damascus blade or something. They're just beautiful. Number 9 on the list is the Mini FSD, the first Mini FSD, because there are 2 that you will see in my top 10. This is the one that had the button lock, and there were so many good things about it. Some people didn't love some elements about it, but I think it's one of the coolest knives ever made. The Mini FSD, just a beauty. It was really, I think, probably Craig's biggest breakthrough knife and one of the hottest knives on the market when it first came out. Crazy pocket clip, crazy milling there. Just a beauty. Thing to behold. Many different deployments. Nothing to complain about. That knife was phenomenal with a very unique back liner lock. Number 8 on the list. Gosh, this is getting into some really good knives here. My Demko AD20 full size. They just did a couple really nice 8020S variants, but man, there is no replacement for the 8020 full size. When I say did, I mean they just sold a few of them during the holiday sale. They sold out in 1 or 2 minutes. After 5+ years, this 8020 continues to be something that just so many people love, including myself. In this larger size, it's just a different experience than the AD20.5 or the Shark Cub. This lock comes to life and it does magical things. So very, very cool knife there. Just one that has remained at the top of my collection. Arguably in the top 5 in some ways, but when I'm trying to do this one, I'm trying to say, you know, all around knife. And for me, that one comes in at number 8 on my list. Number 7. This may look a little familiar. Oh, but it sounds a little different, doesn't it? Yeah, the Brown Knives FSD full size. This is one of the most crazy knives that has just ever been made. One of the craziest milling patterns ever made. And this is the one, to me, that was the breakthrough for Craig Brown. He had some really great Cortex, LHC. A lot of people loved his knives back then, but this was the model that broke things through. And this is actually example number 001, serial number 001. On these, he was doing CPM 154. He has since gone to a default metal of CPM Magnacut, which is awesome. But man, this was a very special knife. And in this full size, the feel and the sounds, they're just unmatched. It's so cool. Love that knife. Very special one to me in the collection for sure. On the very polar end of Brown knives, most recent model, the Brown Cortex Mini, has become one of my favorite knives to carry. And it's one of the very few high-end knives I like carrying. It's just so good as a carry knife that I don't mind carrying it. Whereas a lot of my high-end knives, they sit in the drawer. They don't get used. This is a high-end knife that I love to carry because it is damn good. It's just really, really damn good. It's only about 2.7 ounces. And gosh, just the milling's pretty darn good on these. I kind of like some of the older millings a little bit more. But this is a special one. We're going to see, I think, things coming out of this knife for a very long time. By things, I mean models, ideas, innovations, because Craig is always trying to improve. And I think he greatly improved on carry knives with that model, the Cortex Mini. We are now into the top 5. These top 5 are very special knives. They are what I consider to be the best all around. So we've gone through some knives that I just think are cool, that sound cool, that are unique, that look cool, that are, you know, very rare. What we're going to get into now is the mix. It's that mix of everything. It's the perfect knife, that 3 to 3.5 ounces, just that perfect size. And that starts with none other than the Hansen Knives Onyx. This is one that sometimes you just have to be a little quiet and let other people take in and appreciate. Very few of these are made, unfortunately. He's a part-time knife maker, and his focus is mainly his family. However, if you ever have a chance to get a hold of one, please do. It is a phenomenal knife, a beautiful silhouette. Easily my favorite silhouette of any knife in terms of folding. The Hansen Knives Onyx, very, very special knife here, coming in at number 5 on my top 20 favorite knives ever list. The next one, whew, so good, so good. Mini FSD-I, the inset liner lock, the best liner lock and frame lock feel I've ever felt on any knife. The best. I mean, that is really just phenomenal. Multiple deployment methods, very cool milling options. A few little nibs here and there, like this nubbin wasn't my favorite. I pretty much only do my reverse flicks off the front anyways. I wish he had just taken that up and squared it off and had a nice little square here like that. And then this might have been top 3. But this Mini FSD-I liner lock is just a special knife. It is gravity drop shut and so damn good in so many ways. Brown Knives, Mini FSD-I, taking number 4 on the list. And sorry, I know this is all crammed in here. Number 3, the one, the only, the okayest knife ever made. The SPK Lamia, and in particular here I have the version 3. These top 3, I'm going to show you 2 different versions, a more plain version in a more special version. This version right here is a phenomenal everyday carry. It was the first one I ever handled from Alex Steingraber, the creator of the Lamia. The first SPK knife that rolled out really easily without any lock bar pressure being an issue. So that one's like my daily carry, kind of, if you had to have one just for everyday carry. That version 3 in Elmax, it's the only one he made in Elmax in version 3. That's the one. I also have a very fancy version here. There are only 7 like this made with a Baker Forge nickel copper Sanmai Damascus. He also used a uni carbon fiber scale with speed holes, but he also has a matching scale that goes with this, and this really nice milling. It's very subtle milling. So that one actually has 2 scales, 2 different styles you can set it up as. Whew, that is a dang nice knife. Number 3, the SPK Lamia. Number 2 on the list. Number 2 on the list. Maybe a few changes away from being number 1. That's right. Jason Van Camp, VC Edge, the interface. An unprecedented knife. Almost incomprehensible when someone handles it too. It feels like you're holding a drawing of a knife. It's so light, and yet 3.625 inches. It's as big, as long as my 2 biggest knives on the table. Only weighs 1.5 ounces. It weighs the same as this mini Bugout. It's really just one of the feats of engineering and one of my favorite knives to have in the collection. And yes, he has this regular version. These were going for $750 when they first came out. He further engineered them. Then they were going for maybe $1,200 on the last version. Now they go for about $1,800. Worth it. Absolutely. I also happen to have the first one ever, number 200, the first one ever to have the thumb stud option. And it is very special. This is a full custom version, and obviously has some very crazy windows in here where you can see the blade through them. So yeah, VC Edge Knives does some pretty phenomenal work, my friends. VC Edge interface, number 2 on the list for most extraordinary engineering and feel and everything. Which brings me to number 1. The best all-around knife that I have yet to handle, the Roosevelt. Now this particular one has a mirror polish done by Knife Modders on the pocket clip, on the backspacer, and on the blade, which makes this Magnacut steel feel even smoother. Ooh, that is just so nice. So nice to roll out, so nice to manipulate. This Roosevelt, even out of the factory, is just one of the best knives in terms of action. It carries super well at 3 ounces or less. It's just really good. It's just a really, really, really good folding knife in every way, and I don't have anything I can say bad about it, unless you just hate the way it looks. That's probably the only thing, is a bit polarizing, but tell me that this one doesn't tickle your fancy a little bit. That is a ladder Damascus version of it that was offered at Makers Syndicate Knife Show 2023. He has done some of these in skeletonized scales. I've actually never handled one. I should at some point. Those weigh only about 2.5, 2.6 ounces. And boy, these are special knives. The Roosevelt, he's now made, I think, 6,000, 7,000 of these. He just opened a new factory. The reverse flick is great. The thumb flick is great. The rollout is great. And that's all with a frame lock, which is very unusual. Very, very unusual to get that. It carries well. He has pocket clip options and backspacers that are Damascus and stuff. Like, he does different hardware. The sky's the limit with the Roosevelt. It's just an innovation in design that makes a titanium pocket knife, folding knife, about as good as it can be. There you have it. My top 20 favorite knives. These, of course, are some in the collection. There are some honorable mentions out there, like Walter Randolph's knives, American knives. There's some amazing knives out there. But these are the ones that have stuck around in my collection in terms of the mix of how much I like them, the value, the way they carry, the way they use. These are my favorite, my top 20 for this year, 2025. I hope you enjoyed that. If so, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.